Got it right. All right. Good evening, queens. Good evening, my queens, and even my kings that choose to chime in. Good evening. Well, actually, good night on this lovely night. Happy Love Day to you all. So, this is Queen Watisha. We are back at it once again. Feminine toxicity, women monsters. Never mind my voice. So we are getting ready to go ahead and get into the episode tonight. Let's talk about love, since this love heated happy Valentine's holiday is driving all women insane. So many women are depressed. They are stressed. They are upset because they don't have the ideal mate, or they don't have that special someone to celebrate this holiday with. And it is putting so many women in a very vulnerable, distorted, unhealthy state. First of all, queens, listen. I know that this is one of those holidays that man has put together to promote that on this particular day it equates the value of a woman or the woman or you as a woman. If you don't have a man sending you flowers, if you don't have a mate or a partner surprising you with something, you feel like you are just being left out. Women, queens, come on. It's just a holiday. Let's talk about the real deal behind every day, but especially on this day. You don't necessarily need a mate to show you love. You don't necessarily need a partner to value you as a person. Let's talk about self-love on this lovely, happy Valentine's Day. So, ironically, I ran into a few women today that stopped me throughout my process of the day to gain wisdom, right? About relationships, about marriages. And the one particular thing that a woman asked me today was, should I remain in this relationship due to the fact that I have been with this particular partner for over a certain amount of years, and this partner of mine has not yet asked me to marry them? So let me repeat the question. She asked me to give her some type of guidance and or some type of wisdom about her current relationship, because she's been dating this person for X amount of years and they have not yet asked her to marry them. She even said that she does not feel valued. She does not feel seen. And she just feels like she's losing herself. So she asked me, amongst a few other women that I ran into today that unloaded on me about relationship things, relationship issues and challenges. This one particular woman stood out and she asked me, what should I do about this situation? What should she do about the situation? She's been in a relationship for a certain amount of years, and this particular partner has not yet asked her to marry them. And she feels like she's wasting time. She feels like she's not valued. So I went on to ask her, well, number one, you already said that you don't feel valued. Number two, you already said you don't feel seen. Number three, is clear that you are in a state of mind. You are in a position of feeling and wanting to be married. That's the position that you're in. So I asked her, have you communicated this with him? Because we have to remember, as women, we tend to throw this notion out that men should know. First of all, men don't know. They don't. Most of them need a list, black and white, from step 1 to 20 to help them out, let alone learning or expecting them to read complicated, in-depth, beautiful creatures such as us, right? So when you say should, they should know, that's a distortion. That is a mental distortion when you are expecting a person to know something that you have not told them. I don't care how many cabinets you slam. I don't care how many doors you slam. I don't care how many hissy fits you throw. If you do not sit this man down and communicate, or if you do not sit your partner down and communicate to them, this is what I need. This is what I expect. This is what is lacking in this relationship. And if I don't get these particular things, then I'm feeling compelled to either remove myself or separate myself from this situation, or I'm feeling compelled to move on to a different option. See, the problem is, and I always tell people, the number one killer to relationships, the number one killer in families, in any type of partnership in business, is always communication. Because we walk around in a space of cognitive distortions. We constantly, on a regular basis, fortune tell. We try to tell the future. This is because something looks similar to something that has happened in the past. We tend to say, okay, well, if it happened that way last time, it's going to happen this way tomorrow, or it's going to happen that way at 7 o'clock today. Or we tend to mind read. We look at a person's behavior, we look at a person's demeanor, and we think that we can tell what's on somebody's mind. And then we get into a place where we start using the should statements. Well, they should know. Slam as many doors and break as many plates as you want. If you have not set your partner down and communicate what you need from them, what you're lacking, that is unfair to your partner, your significant other, because you're not giving them an opportunity to properly address the needs that you feel like you're lacking in a relationship. So I asked her, has she communicated? She come at me and she tells me, this person should know. And I said, well, how should they know if you have not communicated? So then that was a whole spiel. And then so I asked her, I said, well, you said you don't feel seen. You feel like you need more. You want time. You want these things. Okay, so it sounds like you are lacking. Okay, and if you're lacking, then that means that it also sounds like you are settling. And after a certain amount of years, you have to step back and say, okay, as I talk to the young ladies today, what am I doing? What do I need to correct? What is my role and what is my part in it? And sometimes us as women, our part is merely just staying in a situation too long. Because this is the thing that I know about people, and all of us know this. When you have communicated this, that's if you have communicated. That's the number one word. That's the big word for tonight. If you have communicated. Now, if you have communicated to that person and that person just is just refusing to get it right, or refusing to be willing, or they're refusing to meet you where you're, to meet you or compromise on the things that you were saying that you need. If that person after X amount of years just is incapable, then at that point in time, it is time for you to make a decision, especially if they hadn't put a ring on your finger. Let me repeat that, especially if they haven't put a ring on your finger. Now, this is the thing. And so many women, so many people ask me about this as well, about marriage. Now, yes, I am married. This is true. But do I necessarily promote marriage because I am married, because I am a woman of God? I am going to say this, and this is my position. My position will continue to be, anybody that I come in contact with, I'm going to always say, first and foremost, before you get married, do premarital counseling. Because premarital counseling will help so many people from going into relationships or going into marriages. It will save you from even having to go through a divorce. Because when you go through premarital counseling, the counselor is going to pose certain questions that you are probably not thinking about asking. And when you get in that room with that professional, you then are provided questions to where you can see how your partner is willing to deal with these types of situations. And so when you find that these are certain situations that this partner cannot handle, they're not willing to work through, then right there, that lets you know that you don't need to marry this person. And if you're so fixated and so stuck on just being married, as quick as you get married, that's as quick as you're going to be divorced. Because it is important to understand that marriage, for number one, is work. It's work. Like she was telling me today, oh, he did all this at the beginning to get me. And then once he got me, now he just sits on the sofa. He don't tell me I'm beautiful. He don't do this. He don't do that. But then in the same breath, she said, well, he's one of the most wonderful people that I could have ever met in my life. So how does both of those statements fit in the same bucket? First of all, he's not meeting your needs. He's not complimenting you. He's not telling you the things that you need to. You don't feel fulfilled. But then he's a wonderful person. So let me help you out with that. The same thing that I told her today. A person, a man, your partner, your significant other can be a wonderful person. They can be a great person. They can be an awesome person, a miraculous person. But guess what? That don't necessarily mean that person is supposed to be for you. They can be a good person, a good man, or a good woman, but it don't necessarily mean that they are good for you. And this is where a lot of people go wrong. So many women look at certain people from their previous relationships. Oh, you sit around, you observe, you look, you say, oh, look, he loves her. Look how he caters to her. Oh, if he just became my man, or just became my boyfriend, or just became my husband, these are the things that he's going to do for me. It's two problems that comes with that. Two caveats, right? Number one, you cannot compare what you see to what will be if that relationship is presented to you, right? Because who that person is with that person, they will not be the same person with you, because you are a different person. And so you never know what that person, what that woman or that man is bringing to the table. You know, you don't know that situation behind closed doors. So you can't expect that when if you are granted the opportunity to be with that person, you can't expect that person to love you the same. And then you don't know how much that relationship has taken out of that person. So when they get with you, you may not get anything what that person was getting prior to. So it is so unwise to compare, to look at a relationship on the outside and not know what's going on the inside, thinking that if you ever get the opportunity to experience that relationship with this person, that person's gonna love you just like they love that first person. That is not a guarantee. That don't mean Tim is gonna love Shannon the same way he loved Brittany, because Shannon and Brittany is two different people. So queens, we need to do better. We need to do better, and we need to get out of that space of saying, oh, she not doing this for him right, she not doing that for him right. Oh, if I had him, I'll do this. If I had him, I'll do that. I'll do all these freaky sexual things to him, and I'll really have his head gone. It don't matter what type of freaky sexual things you do to a man. If he's a broken vessel, you just have a broken vessel. And just like we was talking, me and this other lady was talking earlier on this week. Kay Michelle said this: you can't raise a man. And so a grown man. And so that's what a lot of women are trying to do. You're trying to raise a grown man where there is brokenness. There is brokenness in these situations. And what's happening is broken people are continuing to connect with broken people, and nobody's taking out the time to heal. And so that's what it should be about tonight. Not worrying about somebody bringing you flowers, not worrying about somebody coming over to you to lay it down on you, to drop that on you. It should be about self-love tonight. Learning how to love yourself. Because see, the problem is we all seek companionship, but most of us are not ready. We're not mentally ready. We're not physically ready. We're not emotionally ready. Most definitely emotionally. So many people nowadays are carrying so much mental baggage, so much spiritual baggage. And because you're not taking out the time or giving yourself time to heal or get to know who you are and what you love. I tend to tell people throughout life, right? We're going to continuously learn and grow and learn and grow. And it is okay in life to sometimes not know what you want. Sometimes it takes for you to live for some time and experience some things for you to know, to learn what you want. But this is the thing. The best part about living and the best part about experiencing love and heartaches and heartbreaks, the best part about that is learning what you don't want. So that's a good place to start. It's a good place to start telling yourself, okay, moving forward, this is what I don't want. I may not know what I want, but I know what I don't want. That's number one. Number two, again, ladies, this is an opportunity to take out time to love on yourself. How could you bring somebody into your space, into your head space, into your spiritual space, into your mental space, if you are not in a place of healing? I'm not saying that two people can't heal and can't heal together. I'm a firm believer that two people can relate, they can come together under traumatic situations and heal together if they have the same identical mindset and the same goals, as far as in saying, okay, I want to be in a relationship and these are the steps that I'm willing to take. If you have two people that's on that type of path and that's with one another and they teaming up, man, the sky is the limit. So you can heal together. But you have, queens, you have to make sure that when going into these relationships or seeking a partner, that you're not imposing your values or your desperation on somebody. I'm ready to get married right now. But is he married? Is he ready to get married right now? And if you all have been together excessive amount of years and he or she has still not asked you to marry them, then that's your answer. I mean, look, fortunately, I haven't had that problem. I haven't had that problem. This is my second marriage, and I'm blessed. I'm blessed to have gotten an opportunity to experience something contrary of what I was used to, and that's because I took out the time to heal. I took out the time to remain celibate. I took out the time to learn the things that hurt me, to learn my triggers, to learn the do's and the don'ts. And I took out time to learn myself, to learn how to love myself. So that way, when my husband came into my life, I knew what I was willing to accept. I knew, what it looked like, what my idea was of love. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, and as far as being in a situation where a person not wanting to marry me, like I said, I can't, it's difficult. It's hard for me to relate to that because I can't, I just can't relate to that. But even if I was in a situation, this is my thing. I don't believe in wasting time. So I feel, and this is just me, I feel that if you are a woman that's saying, okay, I'm in a space of ready to be married, ready to settle down, then you have the right to say, to put standards on a time frame. I just don't believe in that old common law of what so many people was doing back in the days. Oh, we've been together 5 years, 10 years. We married common law, but there's no ring on my finger. That still gives a person an opportunity to have their cake, eat it too, and then go and get some extra dessert. After a certain time frame, baby, you better be talking about marrying me, or I'm out. That was my protocol. But the thing about me in my past, as I've shared, I wasn't the one that was worried about getting married, because I was the one, like the song say, I was the one, they used to say she's a runner, she a track star. Because if something didn't seem right to me, I was out. You catch me on the flip side. I see you when I see you, but I'm just encouraging you all, every queen that catches this broadcast, take out time to love yourself. Because let me tell you something. Let me tell you what's happening. You all are seeing these things on social media. And I'm telling you, you're seeing this stuff on social media. I would even say, even for my marriage, I don't put a lot of our personal stuff out, but I'm going to tell you, being married is work. You have to be willing to put in the work. You have to be willing, and your partner has to be willing to put in the work. It is not no peaches and creams every day, all day, especially when you have two goal-oriented people with their own set track of mind that's been living for years at a time. You got traumas from the past. You got past set ways. You have to think about the compromises that you're willing to make. You have to think about what's greater. Is this conflict greater than the marriage? Sometimes you have to put some things aside and not even present it to your partner, because if you present it to them, it's going to cause a conflict. You have to ask yourself, do I really want to go into this? Is it really worth it? It is a lot that goes into marriage. And it's not these peaches and cream what people presenting on TV. But because behind closed doors, even the most powerful couples have challenges on a regular basis. So I encourage you, queens, to take out time to love yourself. This is a day. Let me tell you what I would do. This is what I would do. On the Valentine days that I was by myself, I remember seeing this podcast or watching this YouTube, and it said, before you go into a relationship or you go into a marriage or you get into a marriage, you have to start treating yourself like you want your ideal partner to treat yourself. So I was like, that makes sense. With the young, I was telling the young queens today, how could you expect somebody to respect you or treat you a certain way if you're not treating yourself a certain way? If you're so desperate in wanting somebody just to say you have somebody that you're willing to settle for anything and be somebody's doormat and be treated like trash when you are a true treasure. And tapping into my spiritual side, the word says that any man that gains a wife, that marries, that has a wife, he has a good thing. And not only does he have a good thing, but he obtains favor from the Lord. So you are the treasure. You are the treasure. You are the value. You are everything that this person is waiting for. So take pride in who you are and learn how to love yourself in the midst of you waiting on that partner. But I got news flash. I have news flash for you. The partner that you're waiting on is not going to be perfect. So all women have this ideal man that you want, but rest assured, men have ideas on what type of woman they want too. So imagine this. You have your expectations as a woman. He has his expectations as a man. When you all get together, it's going to be peaches and cream at the beginning because that's the honeymoon stage. But when the real issues start happening, this is when you find out, is this really the ideal person that you really want to be married to, right? And what happens if your idea of the man and his idea of the wife is not compatible? Because you got expectations and he got expectations and it's not connected. What happens then? Because see, this is too what a lot of women do. A lot of us do. We tend to think that we the ones, we just got it all together. Not thinking that we need to put in work. But see, we tend to have more layers than men. We tend to be a little better at hiding things. Some stronger women are just better at hiding things. But look, don't be so desperate, because I'm telling you, like the cliches say, just don't believe the hype. I would tell any queen, any young princess, any person that comes to me, learn how to love yourself first before you bring somebody into your space. Learn what it looks like. Learn what it feels like. And I think I got sidetracked from what I was saying. And I was saying that I started preparing myself before I got married. And I started buying myself roses. I would call the floral shop and send myself flowers on a regular basis. I would take myself out. I would take myself out to extravagant dinners and treat myself. Forget the nails. I'm not into nails. I'm not into getting my toes and stuff done. I'm still a little tomboyish when it comes to that. But when it comes to the quality of my mental health and my worth, that's important to me. So I began to treat myself the way I wanted my potential mate to treat me. I would take myself out on trips, go stay at the beach by myself, You know, my family looking for me. I'm at the beach, baby. I'm laying on the sand by my lonesome. You have to get in a place where you're comfortable enough to be able to love on yourself. That way, when that person do come into your life, it's not like you don't get so anxious as in thinking about, you know, worrying about if they're gonna leave you. You don't have so many insecurities because you are secure within yourself. And if that person say, okay, well, you're not the one for me, then you can easily say, okay, that did hurt. I did love them. I did care for them. I did invest in them. But I love myself enough to not allow myself to be in a situation with a person that does not want to be with me, or a person that's not willing to see me, a person that's not willing to value me, a person that's not willing to invest in me as I'm willing to invest in them. It's more to it than just to say you have somebody. So that's why I titled this, "If Loving You Is Wrong, I don't want to be right." See, you all thought I was about to talk about some mess. But no, I'm just saying you have to love yourself. Because if you are in a situation where a person you have been with this person for years and they still have not asked you to marry them, then you are loving them. Loving them is wrong, and then you don't want to be right. That's why I titled it that. You don't want to be right. You don't want to be right because you are loving somebody that does not see the value in you. But I couldn't tell that woman that today. All I could tell her was this: you just said what it is. You just told me what it is. You just told me that this person does not value you. You want to go out. You want to cuddle. It's more to it than just sitting on the sofa and then getting to the grown thing and then laying down. You want more out of it because you are now settling because you don't feel fulfilled. So your answer, she gave me the answer. She just wanted me to confirm. I mean, I don't know, really, to be honest with you, I don't want even the story. I don't want to mind read because I don't know what she wanted from me. All I could do is what I do is encourage her to love her, encourage her to talk to her partner and communicate about what she feels. And then from there, if she feels like if after communicating assertively and being direct about what she needs, if that partner can't give you that, then it is okay to accept that this person is a good person. They're just not good for me. And so while you are occupying time, lying to yourself, deceiving yourself, your true mate is out there waiting on you. But our Creator is not going to send your mate to you with somebody else that's occupying that space. Because then you will be put in a predicament of playing with somebody's heart. And then you have to remember what you put out is what you will get back. So we have to be careful. We have to be careful. And also remembering being alone does not mean that you have to be lonely. Being alone and being lonely is two different things. You can be alone and live in your house, come home and listen to your relaxing music, listen to some gospel, listen to whatever it is that gets you to where you need to go. Cater to yourself, get you some emotional animals, support animals. You know, it's freedom in learning how to love yourself. It's liberating. And you don't need somebody to do that for you. You can do that for yourself. But I encourage every woman that catches this broadcast, every queen, every king that catches broadcast, start with setting the standards and the precedents for yourself. Take out time to read. Look up some podcasts. I always say this: get on some YouTubes and watch channels investing in how to love yourself. Because once you start building up that energy and you start putting out in the atmosphere, this is what I want to receive, it's going to be given to you. And when you come, you're going to know how to love it. You're going to know how to embrace it. You're going to know how to nourish it. The problem is so many of us are broken and we want somebody to come in and fix us, and that's not going to happen. And in turn, when somebody healthy does come into your life, you break them because you're broken and you have not invested time into yourself to get healthy, healed, and whole. So this is my spiel for today. Topic: if loving you is wrong, then I don't want to be right. If you are investing in a relationship you've been in I'm gonna tell you, a year is too long. If after a year we aren't talking about making some type of serious commitment, I don't know. Unless like I say, I'm not talking to the one single-minded. You have people that's living these lives that's okay with partnerships, that's okay with arrangements. I'm not talking about you. Not talking about you. I'm talking about the queens that are saying, I'm in a space, I'm ready to get married. I feel like I'm ready to make the commitment, but yet me and my partner has been together for years, and he or she or whoever has still not asked me to marry them. After some time, it is time to make a decision. Okay, what are we doing? What are we doing? And if we aren't talking about making a full investment in one another, then loving them is wrong, and you are telling them that you don't want to be right. You are accepting that you don't want to be right. And you have then set the precedent, you have then set the standards that whatever is going on in that relationship, in that marriage, you are okay with it. Because you have not pushed the issue to change or make change. And as cliche as it is, you have to be the change that you want to see. It starts with you. You have to start loving yourself. You have to start showing yourself respect. You have to start taking out time and investing time in yourself so that you can show a person or teach a person how to love you. So I don't know if I had any comments, because again, I have not had time to invest in learning this app a little more, but I hope that anybody that caught this live is encouraged on this love day, so to speak. Look, stop wasting time and stop allowing people to waste your time. You know what you desire, you know what you expect, and you know that you're worth more than what you are accepting. And if you are in a space where you are feeling unfulfilled, or you are feeling that your partner is just not, you guys are not gelling or equally yoked, I would encourage you to go and get some counseling. That way, some professional counseling. That way you can be guided or instructed or led to a better place. And if that don't work, it's okay to say, our time is up. And let me either work on myself or let me open the doors for our creator or the universe, whatever you believe in, to send me what's rightfully for me. But stop occupying time with a person that's not meeting you in the space that you need. You're not going to get perfection, but some of those things, just being seen, being told that you're loved, being showed that quality time, all of that stuff matters. And it can't just matter to you. It has to matter to the person that you are sharing that space with. And you have to remember that love is not a passive word. It's not passive. It is active. It is action. Love is an action. You are supposed to show love daily. And that's not just sitting on a sofa, spending time having sexual meetings and then falling asleep. It's more to it than that. You have to be willing to put in the work. Love equates work. If you're willing to put in the work, you will get the love. that you desire. But it first starts with self. Hey, I'm Queen Watisha. This is the channel Feminine Toxicity. Never mind my voice. Women monsters. Chime in with me on the next episode. Oh, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I hope I helped somebody on today on this love day. Love yourself because it starts with you first. Queen Watisha signing off. Have a great night.